साथी मेरा नाम सलीम उमर है और मेरा आज का जो ट्रैवल व्लॉग है इलेट्स एआई समिट आर्टिफिशियल समिट का मेरा यात्रा रही। इसको मैंने इस इवेंट में जाके अपने आप को एआई के बारे में जाना। तो आज ये ट्रेनिंग के लिए मैं तैयार हो चुका था मॉर्निंग में, और मैंने यहाँ से अपनी धन्नो खड़ी थी और धन्नो को जाके देखा। धन्नो बिल्कुल साफ़ सफाई हो चुकी थी धन्नो की, और वाइपर खड़े हुए थे। मैंने वाइपर को डाउन करने के बाद मैंने गाड़ी को ओपन किया। तो मैं बिल्कुल रेडी था और गाड़ी में चाबी लगा चुका था। मैंने सोचा कुछ थोड़ी सी वीडियो बना ली जाए, और ये आप सुन सकते हैं। तो साथियों, आज का जो हमारा व्लॉग स्टार्ट होता है आज यहीं से। तो साथियों, मैंने गाड़ी निकाल चुका था और आप देख सकते हो ये मेरी गाड़ी स्टार्ट करके मैं निकल लिया था। ये हमारी कॉलोनी का बिल्कुल एंट्रेंस पॉइंट है, और यहाँ से निकलने के बाद मैं मेन रोड पे आ जाता हूँ, क्योंकि बिल्कुल रोड के साथ ही है। और ये सेक्टर 15 फरीदाबाद के ऑफिसर कॉलोनी है। यहाँ से मैं निकल के ऑन रोड पे है, और यहाँ से मैं निकलने के बाद मैंने अपना रुख किया ओल्ड फरीदाबाद की तरफ। तो क्योंकि मुझे तो वहाँ ओल्ड फरीदाबाद तो जाना नहीं था, लेकिन मेरे घर के जस्ट पीछे अजरुंदा में एक हमारा क्राउन प्लाजा है, वहाँ मेट्रो स्टेशन है। मैं नीलम अजरुंदा मेट्रो स्टेशन लगभग मेरे घर से 1.5 मिनट का रास्ता था। और यहाँ पे देख सकते हो, ये मुझे थोड़ी मैंने स्पीड गाड़ी की बढ़ा दी थी, और यहीं पे पहले ही कट से मुझे क्योंकि यहाँ डीसी साहब की कोठी के पास से ही मेरे को लेफ़्ट जाना था। ये अजरुंदा है, अजरुंदा के जस्ट पीछे ही वो क्राउन प्लाजा है, और यहीं मुझे गाड़ी अपनी पार्किंग करनी थी, क्योंकि मैंने आज प्लान गाड़ी के साथ जाकर अपने मेट्रो से जाने का प्लान बनाया था। और क्योंकि मेट्रो में जो सफ़र में मज़ा है वो गाड़ी को, क्योंकि आज वर्किंग डे भी था, तो इसलिए मैं बिजी रहता, मतलब ट्रैफिक बहुत ज़्यादा रहता, तो इसलिए मैंने अपने आप मेट्रो से जाना अच्छा लगा, अच्छा समझा। और गाड़ी बिल्कुल ये अजरुंदा के पास आप देख सकते हो, बहुत शानदार व्यू है। मेरी आप स्पीड से अंदाज़ा लगा सकते हो, मैं गाड़ी थोड़ा तेज़ चलाता हूँ, और धन्नो बिल्कुल तैयार रहती है मेरे साथ चलने को अच्छे से। और ये टंकी है अजरुंदा की, इसके पास में ही बिल्कुल हमारा फरीदाबाद के बहुत मोस्ट पॉपुलर है अपना मॉल था क्राउन प्लाजा, सब जानते होंगे। वो नीलम के मेट्रो स्टेशन के बिल्कुल सामने है, और बहुत इसी ज़माने में बहुत ज़्यादा क्राउड रहती थी। और बिल्कुल ये आप देख सकते हो, ये बिल्कुल पास में ही है। और इसके साथ ही ये मैंने गाड़ी का, ये भैया मुझको, मैं बार बार इसको हॉर्न दे रहा था, लेकिन ये सुन रहा था, कि इंडिया में हॉकिंग करते रहते हैं लेकिन लोग सुनाई नहीं देते।
साथियों, ये आ गया है क्राउन प्लाजा,
बिल्कुल आ चुका है। और ये आप देख सकते हो, ये पार्किंग, मैंने पार्किंग भैया को बोला कि भाई मैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस से हूँ, तो इसलिए मैं पार्किंग बिल्कुल नहीं दूँगा,
और मैंने गाड़ी यहाँ लगा दी।
मान भी गए थे मेरी बात, और कहा साहब आप जाओ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, जहाँ आपको पार्किंग मिले वहाँ लगा लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है सर। मैंने अपनी गाड़ी को आगे बढ़ाया, पार्किंग वाले को भैया को बोला, और गाड़ी मैंने पार्किंग में ले आया। मैंने देखा गाड़ी में भी मॉर्निंग में जगह तो
कार्ड,
लेकिन
और मुझे गाड़ी की पार्किंग
क्लास में था, क्योंकि मुझे शाम को
नहीं आ रही है।
मुझे पता था 4-5 घंटे लग जाएंगे,
वो फिल हो चुकी है। मैंने गाड़ी की पार्किंग के लिए यहाँ मुझे मिला स्थान,
कि सामने बस खड़ी है, बस के पास बिल्कुल जगह खाली है,
गाड़ी खड़ी, और मेरे को लगा बस के पीछे यहाँ गाड़ी खड़ी करने में
लगा लिया था। आप देख सकते हो, बस में बिल्कुल यहाँ मुझे जगह अच्छी मिल गई थी, और मैंने इसको अपनी धन्नो को बिल्कुल खड़ा कर दिया, कि मेरे घर से 1-1.5 मिनट का रास्ता था। मैंने अपनी धन्नो खड़ा करके
पार्किंग, और ये मेट्रो स्टेशन है यहाँ पे
क्राउन प्लाजा का। ये पार्किंग है, ये क्राउन प्लाजा का भी पार्किंग है, और मेट्रो का भी ये पार्किंग है, दोनों कंबाइंड पार्किंग है ये। तो मैं भी कुछ पैदल चलकर, कुछ यहाँ से पार्किंग से बिल्कुल पास नहीं, सामने देख सकते ये नीलम अजरुंदा मेट्रो स्टेशन। और मैं थोड़ा वीडियो जी, आप गेट नंबर और आज का जो ट्रेनिंग का जो एआई समिट जाने का टाइम था, वो लगभग मुझे 10 बजे का टाइम था, और मुझे जल्दी जाना था।
मिनट की
रिचार्ज भी नहीं था कार्ड में, मात्र कंपनी से रिचार्ज करवाया। तो ये बोल रहे थे कि आप 29 तारीख को यहीं से एंट्री करेंगे और यहीं पे आप आ गए तो क्या आप कहीं नहीं गए? बताया भैया मैंने 20 रुपये का फाइन दिया और रुपये का रिचार्ज करा दिया और चले जाने में और अब स्टेशन पे जाने का टाइम था। तो आएंगे ये नेहरू प्लेस ये प्रोग्राम देखा तो 15-16 मेरे मेट्रो स्टेशन दूर था। तो 10 मिनट मैंने यहाँ वेट किया। और बहुत ही व्यस्त लाइन होती है। और मैंने मेट्रो में करके सही बहुत भीड़ भी थी, भीड़ भी बिल्कुल भी नहीं थी। तो मुझे फिर भी मैंने सोचा कंफर्टेबल नहीं होती है, मैंने खड़े होकर इसको देखना था काफ़ी समझा और मैं खड़े होकर इसमें अच्छा लगा और मैंने खड़े होकर स्टार्ट करना शुरू कर दिया। पूरे जो अपना जो वर्ल्ड का और ये मेट्रो वाला मेट्रो है और मैं और ये मैं पहुँच चुका था। के स्काई वॉक बना हुआ था और सीधा होटल के पास जाता है, लेकिन मुझसे बड़ी गलती हुई और मैं नीचे से पैदल चला गया। तो मुझे वहाँ भैया, ऑटो वाले भैया मिल गए। मैंने कहा यार मेरे को इधर हॉस्पिटल जाना। उसने मुझे 50 रुपये मांगे और मेरे को बड़ा दुख हुआ कि उसने मेरे को ये आधे किलोमीटर में जाके, अगर उस स्काई वॉक जहाँ ख़त्म हो रहा था वहीं पर वो होटल थी। और मेरे साथ आज बहुत बड़ा मतलब मुझे लगा कि ऐसा, और बंदे ने मेरे को बिल्कुल काट दिया। उस ऑटो वाले ने 50 रुपये के लिए, सिर्फ वॉकिंग डिस्टेंस की वजह मुझे नहीं पता था और मैंने पहली बार गूगल पर सर्च नहीं किया, इसकी वजह से मेरे को तो नुकसान हो गया था। और मैं अगर ये स्काई वॉक में जाता सीधा वहीं होटल के पास रुकता, मैंने नीचे जाकर ऑटो पकड़ना समझा। इसकी वजह से मेरे को, आप देख सकते हैं ये बिल्कुल मेट्रो स्टेशन के ग्राउंड फ्लोर पर आता हूँ। यहाँ पर आइनॉक्स भी बना हुआ था मूवी के लिए भी। और यहाँ पे बहुत सारे ब्रांड के यहाँ पे थे और दो बोतलें पड़ रही थी मेरे फ़ोन पे के आने की वजह से। आप देख सकते हो ये इसका मेट्रो स्टेशन का बिल्कुल छोटा सा मैंने यहाँ वीडियो क्लिक किया। ये TDI मॉल लगा सकते हो। अब मैं होटल में पहुंच चुका था, लेकिन मैं होटल में जहाँ समिट हो रहा था AI का आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस था, उसके बारे में मैंने पता करा, लेकिन वो अगले लॉबी से था। तो मैं पहले गलत लॉबी में घुस गया, तो मैंने यहाँ से गलत वापस आया और फिर मैंने दोबारा यार भाई कहाँ पे हो रहा है। तो उसने बताया कि सर यहाँ नहीं है, अगली लॉबी होटल की, अब वहाँ जाओ। ये
एक यहाँ एक इवेंट हो रहा है इलेट्स का। इलेट्स होटल का मेन लॉबी कहाँ पे? अच्छा इस अगला है। अच्छा
यहाँ आके मैंने अपना रजिस्ट्रेशन करवाया। आपने भी मेरा उन ID कार्ड भी दे दिया। तो मैंने देखा कि यार ब्रेकफास्ट चल रहा है, सारे लोग ब्रेकफास्ट कर रहे हैं, तो मैंने भी फिर अपने ब्रेकफास्ट में हाथ मारा। और ब्रेकफास्ट में बहुत शानदार बना हुआ था, आपको दिखाऊंगा मैं ब्रेकफास्ट में। ये मेरे को 2 समोसे, 2 बिस्किट, ये सैंडविच, और यहाँ बैठ कर आराम से मैंने ब्रेकफास्ट निकले बाद अभी यहाँ मीटिंग स्टार्ट हो चुकी थी और मैं यहाँ पर बैठ गया बहुत सारे डेलीगेशन थे। हर डेलीगेशन को आप देखना तो आप सुन सकते हैं डेलीगेशन किस तरह बताया।
Now to move forward,
देखा तो जब मैं
this is the time when we listen to
1 घंटा लेट
the Secretary to the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi, who is playing a pivotal role in driving administrative reform and digital governance. Her leadership is instrumental in leveraging technology and AI-enhanced urban services, transparency and citizen-centric delivery in the nation's capital. Everyone, please give a big round of applause to Miss Padma Jaiswal. Give her a big round of applause.
because I also have to leave for the meeting. And since I was in the inaugural session, but then I got late and I just had to, my role has to be shifted after the inaugural session. So thanks for the organizers for giving the introduction. And this topic is very relevant about the safe planet and how the AI is going to ensure ourselves to be in a safe and effective manner. Now, since the AI is evolving in a very, very rapid manner, now we have seen that initially in our offices we were connected and we were delivering the services to the citizen by being connected and by using the devices which were operating, which were autonomously. Now then later on we have started utilizing the data that we had collected in our enterprises to go for the predictability, to go for the, instead of going for the responses, we now wanted to predict and forecast what are going to be the results and what are going to be the outcomes of a particular action, and then we were taking the some outcomes and actions. But now as we move forward, we are looking forward towards the generative large language models, and we are also using some kind of applications for the generative AI and also for these genetic AI. So the technology is really moving very much forward, and when we see that, one more thing which I would like to highlight here is that we are hosting our applications in the foreign cloud. This also I think we are generating the capacity through chips and semiconductors, and also that we are also generating our own capacities in GPUs. And India is the only country which is taking so much leap ahead and in a very, very aggressive manner to at all the fronts. Because at some point the various countries, they are doing specialization in supply chains, they are doing some specialization in regulation, but India is taking the all-out multi-pronged strategy to deal with the AI at various points and from the various aspects. So it is a very, very comprehensive strategy. India has got a very, very robust strategic content and policy, but then we have to see to it that the capacity building, whatever the institutions that we are building, the frameworks and the conventions and various kind of legal conventions that we are building, that has to become more mature, and the capacity building of the various institutions become more autonomous. And this is how we are going to meet the challenges which the AI is facing. But the technology is making leaps and frogs, and it is really advancing at a very, very fast pace. And I think I have got my own alerts of my speaking time, and I am so much grateful to the organizers for giving me the time for sharing my views and perspectives with the audience, and the audience for giving me the patience hearing. Thank you so much.
Please, yours.
Hello. So wishing you all a very, very good morning, and I hope you had your coffee. And since we are going to talk about taxes, technology and trust today, I am from the Income Tax Department, and I feel that our department has been a forerunner in this. We have taken up data analytics and AI in a big way, and we are constantly seeking to improve ourselves and our services. So एक बहुत फेमस शेर है मिर्जा गालिब का, हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले, बहुत निकले मेरे अरमा लेकिन फिर भी कम निकले. तो जो हमारे टैक्स पेयर्स हैं, हम सभी टैक्स पेयर्स हैं, और एज टैक्स पेयर्स की ख्वाहिशें एज वी ऑल नो यही रहती हैं कि हमारी रिटर्न्स इजीली फाइल हो जाएं, कि हमारे रिफंड्स हमें टाइम पे मिल जाएं, जल्दी मिल जाएं, हमारा केस स्क्रूटनी में कम से कम आए. और बिलीव मी कि डिपार्टमेंट की भी ख्वाहिशें यही रहती हैं कि आपकी ख्वाहिशें पूरी हो जाएं. तो इसके लिए हमारा जो AI है और जो डेटा है वो बहुत काम आता है. हम जब इनकम टैक्स की पहले बात करते थे तो एक फियर फैक्टर सो कॉल्ड था, और AI की भी जब हम आज बात करते हैं तो एक बहुत मेजर फियर फैक्टर है कि इसकी कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस क्या होंगी. हमने अभी कीनोट स्पीकर्स को सुना और उन्होंने बताया, और हम पढ़ते हैं कि भाई अब आगे क्या होगा इसका, so there is a fear factor there. But when we combine both these income tax and AI, artificial intelligence, तो एक हम पाते हैं कि बहुत एक साइलेंट रेवोल्यूशन आ रहा है जो वाकई में इसने ट्रांसफॉर्म कर दिया है डिपार्टमेंट को. एंड सिंस आई हैव बीन हियर फॉर सम टाइम, वी आर ऑब्जर्विंग कि कितना चेंज वाकई में आ गया है. और इसके बारे में मैं आपको थोड़ा बहुत सिंपल करके बताना चाहूंगी. नंबर्स वाइज जो है बहुत ज्यादा नंबर है, स्केल बहुत है. हमारे पास जो रिटर्न्स हैं आज की तारीख में, दे आर मोर देन 9 करोड़ इन नंबर. So you can understand 9 करोड़ is a population of, कोई छोटा मोटा कंट्री भी होगा तो 9 करोड़ का पॉपुलेशन उतना हो जाता है जितने हमारे टैक्स पेयर्स हैं. और बिकॉज ये नंबर्स इतने ज्यादा हैं तो वो जो स्केल है उसको मैनेज करना विद ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस, विद ह्यूमन लिमिटेशंस बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. हर चीज को मॉनिटर करने के लिए there are artificial intelligence and data analytics come into the picture, and they have really changed and transformed the entire system, as we are observing, and I'm sure as you are also observing. जो रिटर्न्स हैं आपके, वो आपके नोटिसेस, आपके रिफंड्स, बहुत कुछ जो टाइम फ्रेम है वो बहुत कम हो गया है. बहुत जल्दी हमें रिफंड्स मिल जाते हैं. बहुत हमारी जो डिलीवरी है सर्विसेज की वो बहुत बेटर हो गई है, बहुत फास्टर हो गई है, स्पीडियर हो गई है. गवर्नमेंट का हमेशा यही ध्येय रहता है कि हम कैसे एवरी डे हाउ वी कैन बी बेटर. So if I start with, I would like to tell you about एक annual information system है which has come into the picture, and this annual information system is basically collecting all your financial data. आपने साल में जो भी किया है, this is not like I'm not saying it as a scary thing, but it's just that it's for the ease of everybody. कि आपका बैंक अकाउंट है कहीं पे, आप कोई बैंक अकाउंट भूल गए किसी और जगह था, आपने उसको ट्रांसफर नहीं करा हुआ है. देन यू हैव योर, जो हमारे ऑनेस्ट टैक्स पेयर्स हैं उनको हम कम से कम वी वांट टू बॉदर देम, वी डोंट वांट कि उन्हें कोई हो. इसीलिए हमारा ये जो डेटा कलेक्शन और जो एआई का है सिस्टम, दैट of course we get feedback also from you on a regular basis, but that is our sole intention now, that we don't want to tread on people's toes. The department wants that the people should be left alone to do what they are doing happily and with the least disturbance. And I think if we look at the future of taxation in India, I feel that we will have we already have, but we will be improving. We will be having chatbots to answer your queries. We will be having pre-filled forms. We have multilingual forms which will come in. So I'm sure things are going to get better and better every day. And in the end, I would just like to say that we want you to pay taxes as easily as you pay your phone bill. We want you to be anxiety free, we want it to be exact, and we want you to be just relaxed, pay your tax and go. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for sharing your thoughts, and I would like to take this moment to present the token of appreciation, and to do that I would like to request the presence of Dr. Ravi Gupta, founder and CEO of Elets AI Summit on stage. Everyone, this Dr. Ravi Gupta, founder and CEO of Elets AI Summit. Give him a big round of applause. So you have just heard
GCP, you are bound to the US Cloud Act, whether you are hosted within the geographies of US or outside the geographies of US. US can directly access your data. That is what US Cloud Act says. And sovereignty can not only be achieved by residing your data within the country boundaries. There are three key pillars wherein there is a true sovereignty that can be achieved. One is obviously the data sovereignty, where there is a data collection governance. The data that you're operating on will be within your control. You have the data access control, and also you have data within the country boundaries. There is something called as an operational sovereignty, wherein NextGen's cloud team works within the country. We have our own data centers. We have 24/7 monitoring along with 24/7 customer lifecycle support for our customers. And that's diversified foundation and resilience cultivation is something that we do for all of our customers. And the third thing is the key pillar of our AI services as well, which is the technological sovereignty, wherein we have 5 data centers across the country. We have 7 more coming up. And we have a very robust technology when it comes to cybersecurity fortification. We have our AES 256 military-grade encryption for all of our applications as well. And also, being a domestic player and being the largest sovereign cloud in India, we only use open source technologies right from infrastructure, platforms, and softwares on top. And to give you much more on the credibility point, we are MATI certified government community cloud. We have been providing cloud services for 13 years now. And Election Commission of India beat our marquee client, wherein we take pride in running 3 key Lok Sabha elections. 100 crore concurrent sessions in parallel were handled by us. And all of us have received our COVID certificates, and the COVID portal was hosted on our infrastructure. So Ministry of Health and Family Welfare is also our key client. Like that, we have 200 plus government organizations and 1,000 plus enterprises workloads trusted with us and hosted within our data centers. We are also empaneled with the MATI's India AI mission. We are the L1 bidders, which is the lowest GPU compute for NVIDIA's H200, H100, L40S, AMD MI325X, and Intel Gaudi 2. So, moving ahead with the next slide. So, I want to touch upon our first key pillar in AI, which is obviously the cloud stack GPU as a service. So, how we are different compared to any other cloud provider is, we have a very hardware agnostic AI solution approach. We are not married to one single OEM and we are providing GPU as a service, but rather we have the flexibility, or we give the flexibility for our customers to choose GPU cards across NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel. All of this is possible because of our hypervisor from Red Hat, which is again the open source tool that we use. Red Hat OpenStack and OpenShift is something that help us orchestrate the workloads across NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel. We have the largest cluster about to be deployed in our data center, which is NVIDIA B200 SXM GPUs, which is the latest state-of-the-art Blackwell architecture GPUs from NVIDIA. And we are also empaneled for AMD's MI325X and Intel Gaudi 2 as well. What we did is we built our own cloud management portal called Speed Cloud, wherein customers will have the opportunity to choose what kind of virtual machines that they want from either of their GPUs, and it's a simple one-click deployment. Beyond infrastructure as a service, what we do is we offer platform services as one-click deployments on our cloud management portal also. You get the platform services from NVIDIA. These are some of the examples which I am showcasing, which is the advanced RAG agents, Riva deployment, Omniverse, Nemo framework. All of these are certain frameworks, libraries, and tools which you can easily opt for from the cloud management portal. And same goes with AMD and Intel as well. To give you a perspective, these are some of the flavors of GPUs that we offer as our flagship specifications. H200 SXM comes with 2 different flavors. Customers can either opt for the entire server virtualized, which is the 8 GPUs in one single virtual machine, or they can take single units of 1 card also. And the same goes with H100 NVL. So these are some of the specifications of GPUs we offer within the cloud management portal. So this is something that all cloud service providers provide. And the unique thing which NextGen does is the layer on top of the infrastructure, which is something, is a very interesting thing which I want to cover here. We have built something called an agentic AI platform M. So you have used a lot of proprietary tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, etc. There is a lot of noise around sovereignty. There is a lot of noise about how data is going to the external third-party players like OpenAI, Google, etc. This is where we thought to build an agentic AI platform that is purely sovereign, secure, built totally on open source, and it's enterprise grade. So if you have any tools like CRM, HRMS, ITSM, business intelligence, you name it, if you have APIs exposed, you can easily integrate M within it and augment the entire experience using AI. To give you a perspective on how enterprises work, so it's totally broken. So you have multiple enterprises systems, you have data siloed across all of these systems. AI answers generatively, but it cannot agentically act. You have your data, you have your context, you have your systems, you can infer within the systems as a one single source of truth. So this is the stack of how we have built M. So we have our sovereign AI infrastructure, which is the GPUs, CPUs, storage and networking. Using that, we have built our own agentic AI middleware, which is your intent interpretation, agent orchestration, tools, workflow execution, etc. This is something we have built totally internally. Enterprise systems is where you have your own systems, be it CRM, ERP, HRMS, ITSM, finance, or any kind of tool where APIs are exposed, where databases are available, and if there are any third-party APIs or legacy systems that are there. And using that, you can build your own microservices, be it a speech flow, be it a text flow, be it a RAG flow, you name it, we can do it. And you have your multiple interaction channels where your users come in, be it your website, apps, mobile, etc. So how M routes each and every request is something that is shown here. You have your user inputs, be it in text, be it in speech. You have your document processing layer where it understands what kind of documents and what is the context within it. And then there is a agentic router that understands the context of the prompt that you have given, and it routes to the respective expert or respective tool. So we have the tool registry with multiple different experts or multiple different agents within the respective tool. The router is responsible to call the respective agent or respective tool and give you the accurate response. We have built our own Redis cache where the state of the conversation is also maintained. And we have a web API integration as well, wherein if there is something that natively is not found, you can get the information from the web as well. All of this is within your network. The GPUs are dedicated for you, the AI is within you, and the systems are with you. So if you have any of these tools, you can use APIs, events, or webhooks. And this is something we have built. Our custom connectors and adapters and workflow engines will easily integrate with any of the systems and provide action. So if you have an IT agent where you want us to agentically give responses to your employees or customers and while logging the tickets and give you a conversation summary on email or any other tool, M can do that for you. And this is how M works. These are the 4 key pillars of how M works. It understands your enterprise content and context, permissions and data. It reasons with the same, be planning what kind of agents to call, what kind of tools to call, what kind of policies to be adhered to, and basis that it can act across systems, across workflow, and it can continuously learn with the faster retrieval, continuous understanding of what the context of the user is. And these are some of the things that you can use M for. You can use it for logical reasoning, you can use it as a Q&A, you can use it for time to information, content generation and summary. So these are certain examples on how you can orchestrate the enterprise intelligence. You can have your own based on accountancy books, a lot of precedents is right from 1954. The same goes with F4 Government Legal. It is trained on 5 lakh documents on Companies Act, Corporate Act, and a lot of different acts related to companies. F4 hiring is where you can use AI to pass resumes, match candidates, and have a hiring workflow. These are
the story. So when I was completing my master's in applied artificial intelligence from University of San Diego, my professor was an American. He was an old man, an old hag, very orthodox, and we were talking about the stochastic implication of artificial intelligence on societies. We were talking about ANI, AGI, ASI interplay, that is progression of technology from narrow intelligence to general intelligence to super intelligence. Incidentally, AGI is likely to come by 2027. Singularity is going to be achieved by 2031, and if I go by research studies, by 2047, you will have ASI, that is artificial super intelligence, at hand. So when we were discussing this, I was giving certain views of mine, and suddenly the professor says, Colonel, you Indians are crazy. Dil mein thoda fauji wala bola, ubar sa hoga, and I said, how dare you? But before I could retaliate, he says, you guys came to America, took over all our key positions. Now because of policy intervention, what is going to happen is you Indians are going to go back to India and you will continue to build, and you will continue to build, and then you will take over the AI race. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a reality which all of us have to accept. I take a leap from a statement that has been made yesterday by the Honorable IT Minister, Mr. Vaishnav, at Davos Summit, and he has said, and I quote, that the geopolitical edge does not lie in nations which are investing heavily and large sums in large language models like ChatGPT, but it lies to nation states which will be able to deploy them profitably. And he's spoken about the 5 layers for an AI ecosystem to flourish. May I ask anyone here, which are these 5 layers? Okay, these 5 layers are application layer, the model layer, the chip layer, the infrastructure layer, and the energy layer. Are we as a nation doing something about it? May I ask you this question, amongst these 5 layers, where does the ROI really lie? The return on investment really lie? It is the application layer. So when we talk about return on investment in the application layer, it is all about scaling. That too has 2 parts. Training, that is scale on training, and scale on deployment. So when I say scale on training, what does it mean? The amount of money that is getting invested in training these architectures, these models, these LLMs. LLMs like ChatGPT. पैसा वहां पे है? No sir, पैसा वहां पे नहीं है. Case in point, OpenAI. Look at OpenAI. The cash burn for OpenAI year on year is $4 to $5 billion. Go to ChatGPT, and yesterday I did that. I went to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT, what is the debt of OpenAI? And it says $96 billion is the existing debt of OpenAI. So पैसा यहाँ पे नहीं है. तो पैसा कहाँ पे? The money and the return on investment lies in the deployment scale. So where are the dividends? The dividends lie in the inference needs in public services, which we as a nation state are leveraging. Look at Bhashini, which leverages the 22 Indian languages. Look at agricultural advisory tools, which looks at addressing 110 million farmers of our nation. Look at AI Kosh. This is where the real dividends lie, and this is what the IT Minister was alluding to at Davos in an international summit. We have been able to not only optimize the Indian languages, but we have been able to provide the Indian context as well. And this is where the competitive advantages for India lie against all these other nation states, be it the Americans, be it the Chinese, be it the Singaporeans, or for that matter of fact, the Koreans. What have we done with our GPU access? 38,000 GPUs, NVIDIA GPUs have been democratized. Some of you must be from startups. The cost, the scaling has been put down so much that I am told that the rate has come down to 64 rupees per hour. That is the real democratization. It is not happening anywhere else in the world. What is happening in our IT services workforce and AI services workforce? What is the quantum of AI workforce available in America? 2 million. What about China? 3 million. What about India? Sum total of China and America, that is 5 million. This is the resource that India as a nation state has as on data, and that is the very reason that 20% of the AI global market share is held with the Indians. Look at the foundation models like Bharatjan, Krutrem, Hashini. It's a matter of time, even these will be reaching frontier capability. And that again is a reality which you and I need to grapple with. To sum up, is there a way forward? Yes, there is a way forward for India as a nation, and it lies in 3 pillars. The first pillar is reasoning over scale. The second pillar is trust by design. And the third and final pillar is management by objective. The objectives have been laid out, we just need to manage our resources. In tune of 5 million workforce that is already existing within our borders. We need to manage these resources efficiently, and if we are able to do that, then India's collective resolve will be charting a course for achieving leadership in artificial intelligence, thereby driving us to achieve our rightful place within the Committee of Nations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And before you leave the stage, I understand that you're super busy, you have a flight to catch, but just another moment, and while doing that, we would like to request the presence of IPS Sethi, former DG and IC. Everyone, give him a big round of applause to present the token of appreciation. Yeah. So
I will be very short. Previous speaker has given insight into the India AI mission, what they are doing, their roadmap ever since in March 24 when 10,371 crore cabinet approval was given for the setting of AI mission, and the 7 pillars on which India AI mission talking 38,000 GPU less than dollar cost, 12 large language model, people are working, and there are so many things happening. So I will not go into those things. Being a practitioner, being an expert in digital governance, I will talk about how AI could be leveraged for the various state-of-the-art DPIs. Everybody knows India's success story in the digital public infrastructure, be it CoWIN during the COVID time, be it GSTN, be it UPI, be it e-hospital, and there are 16 major DPIs which India is offering to the world, and there are many more DPIs registered in this category. Foundational DPIs like Agar, everybody know 140 crore, DigiLocker 55 crore, UPI, every month, last month we have a 21.6 billion UPI transaction in India, which is a record which comes to 720 crore every month, and 5 million transactions are happening every minute on UPI, and nobody has sold or marketed UPI. Its adoption has gone to tier 2, tier 3 city, even to the village level also. And I am the one who designed the DigiDhan dashboard when demonetization happened on 8th November 2016, 8 PM by Honorable.
Alright, thank you for the nice introduction, and good afternoon everyone, and pleasure to be here. I'm just probably one of the few who will be holding you for lunch, so I'll try to be more crisp and make sure that this time is worth the wait. So basically I'm going to cover 2 things here. One is about a little bit introduction about Infinity Labs and what we do and how we leverage AI. and what's the roadmap from a technology point. All right, so a few years back, almost 8 to 10 years back, some of us who were working in Cisco decided to jump off and start this Infinity Labs company. And the idea at that time was, at the beginning, there was a need for network automation. Network automation and orchestration was a big need, and we ourselves felt that there was not many companies who were doing network automation and orchestration. And that is what triggered us to jump off and start this company. And we started the network automation platform. And at that time, some of the large ISPs started using the network automation platform. And we continued to grow from there. And the platform became bigger and bigger, right from onboarding of the networking devices to security devices to config management, compliance management became bigger and bigger. And today I'm very proudly saying that it's being used by the large ISPs and enterprise in India and outside India, in UK and US as well. So that's how the journey began, and then with the SDN onset, we started products like SD-WAN, next generation firewall on the cybersecurity side, the threat intelligence platform, and network management software. So these are the products which we continue to work on and continue to develop even today, leveraging a lot of AI. So we are today proudly a 200 people organization, and we have bases in Noida, Pune, and Bangalore, and we are serving customers across the globe, in US, UK, Europe, and India. It's a 200 people strong organization and continues to grow at 25-30% with a lot of play in the government sector now with the onset of Make in India, which the government is promoting today. So now, this slide I cover about the AI fabric, how AI can help or transform or change the way digital networks can operate.
IDFC First Bank, they're doing 70% of their contact center volumes on the Samvad platform. So that should give you a rough idea of what sort of use cases, what sort of entities work with Sarvam as well. But what am I here to talk about? I'm here to talk about, there's a lot of buzz around sovereign AI, but what is sovereign AI? What does sovereignty truly mean? Like, is it a jungle mein nacha more kisne dekha? What is sovereignty truly? I'll dissect it into 3 different axes, right? The first axis is the purity of Indian narrative. You don't want an LLM to give out an answer that does not align with us. But I'm thinking of sovereignty here from the perspective of an organization, maybe from an enterprise perspective as well, right? This is comparative intelligence. This is an asset that cannot go in anybody else's hands. And you need that sovereignty over your data and over your inferencing to be within your control, because when left unchecked, these things can pose. I'm sure the world is, hey, you'll have to give me a minute more. The world is full with, people who've landed on the wrong side of technology risk, commercial risk, and geopolitical risk. I'm sure you might have consumed some news elements over the last 6 months to know this as well, right? And another important thing is this feedback loop ka flywheel that needs to be completed in India, because what we are doing today is, in order to continuously improve these models, we are handing over the most prized asset for alignment, for product direction into the hands of somebody else, and they are improving their models. And this feedback loop is a virtuous flywheel that needs to stay within the Indian paradigm. That was the second axis of AI. The second axis of sovereignty. The third, and I think also extremely important, because we are at an inflection point as a world economy stays. AI is a once in a 100-year sort of phenomena. While we are the dev shop of the world, while we are the back office of the world, it is absolutely important to not let this GDP advantage go in anybody else's hands. And we've been losing many revolutions, right? Since 1997, we were leading the hardware revolution.
Blockchain is basically a pseudonymous graph, ultimately, at the crux of it. So overlaying it with these technologies like GNN allows us to identify clusters of bad actors. like actors that are involved with dark net and any other malpractices. So identifying these clusters of bad addresses then allows us to transitively safeguard our retail customers. Last but not the least, the new generation of AI that all of us prevalently talk about, which is generative AI, it has its applications too in the world of security, which is, it helps us audit code in the blockchain space, code that is written in Solidity, which is the language that smart contracts are authored in. So we audit those pieces of code, understand vulnerability aspects of it, or any other maliciously injected code in those places. So net, all of these AI applications, they drastically reduce the risk, the retail customer risk of interacting with new and emerging technologies such as the blockchain. Of course, they do not completely eliminate the risk, but the scale at which they operate is inordinate, and it reduces the jobs of human analysts that can now focus on niche and trends that aren't identified prior.
Thanks, Varsha. Amrit, the next question to you. IndiaMart is, India's biggest B2B marketplace, and I'm sure the success of your platform kind of relies on the ability of the platform to help the customers discover the products and also to kind of match the suppliers and the sellers on the platform, right? Could you kind of share how you're using AI to ensure that this matching is happening at scale, faster, and with better accuracy than it was earlier?
Thank you for the introduction. So you're right, that's our business, that you think of any product, if you think of
टाइम हो चुका है।
मेट्रो से निकलने के पश्चात मैंने अपनी धन्नो को ढूंढा। धन्नो को जहाँ खड़ी थी, सेफ खड़ी थी, कुछ बंदर मुझे दिखाई दिए और मैं फिर पैदल पैदल गाड़ी के पास पहुँचा और धन्नो को मैंने देखा। धन्नो बिल्कुल शांति से खड़ी है और धन्नो तो ये मेरी धन्नो और खड़ी, देखा आप देख सकते हो।
साथियों, अगर आपको मेरा ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो प्लीज़ लाइक करें, शेयर करें, कमेंट करें, क्योंकि आज का मेरा व्लॉग यहीं पूरा होता है। क्योंकि आज का जो जर्नी मैंने आपको दिखाया, प्लीज़ एक बार इसको पूरा देखें और पूरे करने के बाद प्लीज़ एक बार आप कमेंट करें, लाइक करें, शेयर करें, सब्सक्राइब करें। थैंक यू, विश यू वेल्थ।